the focus point has to be, imagine you were to meet a friend and you were to say, you have to watch this show because, what would you say? It's a must-see because, a must-watch because. Go ahead. Oh, sorry, go ahead. No, you go ahead. I would say it really is for Gus and Big Man. Having watched the 4 episodes, I mean, I haven't seen anything more, but I would say don't let the pandemic dimension put you off. Stick with it because the characters are very endearing. Okay, we'll return to the pandemic later on. But at what point did you pick up on that tenderness between the two of them? Is there an image, a visual, a moment? Oh, I'm going to say when the kid is following him and catches up with him, and kind of, despite himself, bad guy kind of accepts to take him along. Okay. Anything else? Oh, those kids that are half human, half animal. I'd never seen that before. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is something completely different, but when I was young, I remember there was something called Manimals. It was a television show called Manimals. So it kind of made me think of that. So I don't know, do they develop and turn into something different? I don't know. I think they probably stay as they are, but did kind of make me think of that very old TV show. Okay, what about the rest of you? What did you think of that half human, half animal? Was it an interesting aspect if we were to remove it? Well, it's definitely strange. It is weird. I did think of, I couldn't remember the name of the show, but it was Manimals. I used to watch that as well. So the question is, how far they're going to transform. And we see that some of them are half man, half pig, and then we see other species as well, but we kind of wonder how far the transformation is going to go. But if I were to talk about the show, I would say it's a fantasy show for the whole family. And in the background, COVID is in the background. Okay. Interesting. I'll return to that point. Audrey, what did you think of it? I agree with Christoph. It really is. So, exactly what we're going through right now, but at the same time, it's a fantasy, almost almost animated. But at the same time, it's very much modern day life. Okay, so let's talk about that. You're saying fantasy on the one hand, and then contemporary, our life right here, right now, on the other hand. So the fantasy dimension of Sweet Twister, how does that compare to other fantasy worlds or shows? I don't think there are any superpowers in this because, I watch this and my wife loves all of these fantasy shows. I watch them with her because I like to have an opinion, but they're not really my thing. They're not my favorite thing. So, but the fact that he has no superpowers, he can't disappear or run very fast, makes it more acceptable to me. I don't dislike real superpowers. Hybrid kids for a start, it is a bit weird. The idea is a bit weird. Okay, so you're saying it works more for you because they don't have superpowers. They're not superheroes. Mm-hmm. And, well, it's the fact that they're hybrids, but they're just kids like any other child. And you see it particularly when he plays with the other little boy. He's just a boy. And you realize that he's maybe a grown-up. Is he an adult? At the same time, he's still a child. Yeah, I agree with Manuel. It's fantasy, but it's almost kind of believable fantasy. Okay, he's a hybrid child, but they don't overwork that. But maybe he does. His superpower would be that he can kind of communicate with other animals because he calms down the tiger, but they don't labor that too much. He's still very much human, exactly the same. Well, we haven't found out if the little pig girl has any superpowers. But the lack or absence of superpowers makes it that much more realistic. What about the rest of you? Yeah, it's exactly this. It's quite realistic. Okay, it's a fantasy kind of world, I guess, but you never quite know what's going to happen in the future with everything that's happening